the flowing white stream. The painting's focal point is the carefully controlled stream of milk flowing from the jug. Vermeer captures this moment with extraordinary precision, showing the milk's texture and translucency. The white stream creates a visual anchor in the composition and demonstrates Vermeer's mastery of light effects. The way light interacts with the flowing liquid shows his understanding of optics and meticulous observation. This detail epitomizes the Dutch Golden Age's fascination, with everyday moments elevated to profound significance. Contemplative concentration. The milkmaid's downward gaze reveals intense concentration on her task. Her expression is neither idealized nor caricatured, but shows dignity in labor. Vermeer portrays her as robust and sturdy, with strong forearms suggesting regular physical work. Unlike many contemporary paintings of servants that were often voyeuristic or comedic, Vermeer grants her individuality and respectability. This approach reflects his humanistic outlook and ability to find beauty and meaning in ordinary domestic scenes. Ultramarine brilliance. The milkmaid's blue apron is painted with ultramarine, an extremely expensive pigment derived from lapis lazuli. This artistic choice is significant as such a costly material would typically be reserved for religious paintings or depictions of royalty. By using this precious blue for a servant's clothing, Vermeer elevates her status and the domestic scene. The technical challenge of applying this difficult pigment demonstrates Vermeer's skill and commitment to quality. The vibrant blue also creates a chromatic harmony, with the earthy tones dominating the rest of the composition. Hidden symbolism. The foot warmer visible on the floor contains hot coals and was typically used to warm feet. In Dutch genre painting, it often carried sexual connotations, symbolizing female ardor or desire. This subtle element adds a layer of meaning that contemporary viewers would have recognized. The presence of this object may suggest the maid's interior emotional life, adding psychological depth to the scene while maintaining its respectful tone. Daily sustenance. The various breads on the table represent different social classes. The white rolls were expensive and consumed by the wealthy, while the dark bread was for the working class. This detail provides social context and shows Vermeer's attention to the material culture of his time. The crusty texture of the bread demonstrates his skill in rendering different surfaces and materials with lifelike precision. Meticulous detail. The row of brass nailheads along the edge of the table is rendered with extraordinary precision. This minute detail showcases Vermeer's commitment to observed reality and his technical virtuosity. These small elements add texture and dimension to the composition while demonstrating the artist's patience and craftsmanship. The reflective quality of the brass also provides another opportunity for Vermeer to display his masterful handling of light. Food in Dutch still life often carried religious symbolism, with bread potentially referencing the Eucharist and Christian charity. Local history and culture. The Delft blue tiles at the lower portion of the wall depict popular scenes and figures. These tiles were common in Dutch households for their decorative quality and practicality in kitchens. Vermeer, living in Delft, incorporated this local product into many of his interior scenes. The tiles feature images of children's games and laborers, creating a visual connection to the working-class subject. Their inclusion roots the scene firmly in Dutch domestic life, while providing visual interest through their patterns and colors. Vermeer's signature illumination. The natural light streaming through the window on the left exemplifies Vermeer's legendary handling of light. He likely used a camera obscura to study light effects, though this remains debated among scholars. The window's placement creates a diagonal path of illumination across the scene, guiding the viewer's eye to important elements. The soft, diffused quality of the light creates subtle shadows and highlights that give the scene its three-dimensional quality and serene atmosphere. This distinctive lighting became one of Vermeer's most recognizable artistic signatures. Still life elements. The wicker basket and brass jug display Vermeer's skill in depicting different textures and materials. The woven pattern of the basket required painstaking attention to detail, while the brass jug's reflective surface demonstrates his understanding of how different materials interact with light. These everyday objects are elevated through Vermeer's careful attention, becoming worthy of the same artistic treatment as more traditionally noble subjects. Their arrangement creates a balanced composition while contributing to the scene's domestic authenticity. Realism through flaws. The subtly damaged plaster wall shows cracks, nail holes, and discoloration. These imperfections create visual interest while grounding the scene in reality. Rather than idealizing the environment, Vermeer embraces its lived-in quality. The wall serves as a neutral background that allows the figures and colorful elements to stand out while still containing its own quiet beauty. The varied textures and tones of the wall demonstrate Vermeer's ability to find aesthetic value in what others might consider mundane or flawed.